Tropicana, the Mirage, the Dunes, the Sands. These are not just closures, they are trophies. Vegas icons wiped off the map in a mass extinction event. The hard numbers do not lie. 7 icons vanished in just 2 years, 58 buffets gone, and the bleeding has not stopped. Right now, 5 more giants are walking the Green Mile. But this is not random decay. It is a formula, a death formula, and it is not what you think. Casinos are no longer being demolished because they lose money. They are being demolished because they are more valuable dead than alive. The logic is brutal and absolute. When a casino's maintenance is rotting, when the brand is outdated, and when its corporate owners realize the empty land is worth more than the operating casino, the bulldozers are already on their way. We are going to break down this formula, casino by casino. If you have ever placed a bet at one of these icons, or just remember the Vegas that used to be, you will want to see this. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the verdict on which giant falls next. These are the next 5 casinos on the chopping block, ranked by their proximity to the Reaper, from a maybe to a definite. Our countdown begins with a relic hiding in plain sight. Casino Royale is a mini casino from a bygone era, sandwiched between giants like the Venetian and Harrah's on the center strip. It is a holdout, and that is precisely the problem. Here is the first rule of the new Vegas. The building is irrelevant. The land is everything. Inside, Casino Royale is one of the smallest operations on the strip, with just 11,000 square feet of gaming and around 400 slot machines. But the ground it sits on is some of the most expensive real estate on the planet. For comparison, look at the Tropicana deal on the far south strip. Its 35 acres are valued around $20 million per acre. But location is everything. A parcel in the center strip recently sold for double that, at $40 million per acre. This is why analysts value Casino Royale's tiny plot at a staggering $100 to $200 million per acre. Its brand is non-existent. Its scale, a liability. While its neighbor, the Venetian, generates over $1.5 billion in annual revenue, Casino Royale pulls in less than $50 million. The math of the new Vegas is brutal and simple. Keeping the casino running provides an 8 to 12% return on the land's value. Redeveloping it into a mega resort, that return jumps to over 20%. The potential is staggering. The FAA had already approved plans for a 699-foot tower on this very spot, which would have been the 3rd tallest in the city. But that approval expired in January 2025, a ticking clock that signals the land's true purpose. With the owners not denying sale rumors, it is understood that an offer over $800 million could not be refused. In a city defined by spectacle, Casino Royale is a whisper, and its demolition is just a matter of simple real estate math. The pyramid is sinking, not into the desert sand, but into corporate irrelevance. At number 4, the Luxor is a case study in strategic retreat. When it opened, the 30-story black glass pyramid was a marvel. Today, it is a victim of a new rule. Location is a weapon, and MGM is aiming it at its own property. Owned by MGM, Luxor is stranded at 3900 Las Vegas Boulevard South, a full 2.5 miles from the center of action at the Bellagio. This isolation makes it easy for tourists to skip, a problem compounded by a 6.3% drop in air passengers and a lack of major convention traffic. This is not just a feeling, it is a financial bleeding. MGM's Q3 2025 report revealed that Luxor and its sister property, Excalibur, accounted for nearly half of the company's $78 million operational shortfall on the Strip. A key metric, revenue per available room, fell 8% to $210. This confirms that the property is making less money. Value brands are hit hardest by a decline in tourism. This decay is a managed decline. As a clear signal of strategic starvation, its buffet, once the cheapest on the Strip at $31.99, was shuttered for good on March 30th, 2025. This deliberately removed a key amenity that drew budget travelers, sacrificing Luxor's main advantage. While capital is funneled into penthouse remodels at luxury properties like the Cosmopolitan, Luxor's aging pyramid is left to fade. burdened by high maintenance costs and low returns. It has become the highest risk property in MGM's value portfolio. If the Strip's rebound is slow in 2026, Luxor is poised to follow the Tropicana and Mirage, straight into the history books. At number 3 is the castle that time forgot, Excalibur. For decades, it was the symbol of affordable, family-friendly Vegas. Now, it is a symbol of its parent company's biggest headache. Together with its neighbor Luxor, Excalibur is at the heart of a crippling midweek business crisis for MGM. The company's own Q3 2025 report revealed that these two properties alone were responsible for $39 million of MGM's $78 million operational shortfall on the Strip. That means half of the company's entire loss came from just these two castles. They are not just underperforming, they are actively dragging the portfolio down. This brings us to the core of the formula. When a public company's stock price depends on cutting a landmark loose, with MGM's stock price plummeting 18% year-to-date, falling from $37 to just over $30 a share, the pressure from the board to maximize profit is absolute. To save the stock, they need to cut the dead weight. And Excalibur is an anchor. The much-touted room remodels did little to help. They were seen by visitors as cheap touch-ups, not the kind of luxury upgrades being poured into properties like the Cosmopolitan. This signals MGM has no intention of saving the castle. The theme itself is no longer a draw. It is an expensive liability with high maintenance costs. The rot is strategic. MGM is focused on high rollers and luxury, a world where a 34-year-old medieval castle has no place. But for the board, this is no longer about a failing casino. It is about a strategic goldmine of land at the corner of Tropicana and the Strip. With the Tropicana now gone, this corner is some of the most sought-after real estate in the world, valued at over $150 million per acre. Excalibur is not a castle anymore. It is an obstacle sitting on a billion-dollar opportunity. Its demolition is an inevitability. Number 2 is a casino whose entire existence has become a race to the bottom. The OYO, formerly the Hooters Casino Hotel. It defines the ultra-low budget model, but here is the twist. It is failing even at that. So far, we have seen casinos become victims of real estate and corporate strategy. But what happens when a casino is worthless, both as an operation and a brand? That is the endgame. The numbers are catastrophic. OYO reportedly pulls in less than $20 million a year. This makes it the worst performing of the 65 casinos on the Strip. To put that in perspective, that is not just underperforming, it is a rounding error for the mega resorts. The operational decay is just as bad. A devastating cyber attack in January 2025 exposed the personal data of thousands of guests. This was a blow that shattered what little trust the brand had left. It exposed its critical vulnerabilities. Its owner, India-based OYO Hotels, is in full retreat, and they have terminated their contract with management group Highgate. They have officially listed the property for what it truly is, a tear-down opportunity. But while the business is worthless, the ground beneath it is a goldmine, sitting on the corner of Tropicana and the Strip. Its land is valued at a staggering $80 to $120 million per acre. The property is not being shopped as a casino. It is an obstacle, sitting on a billion-dollar piece of dirt. When your strategy is to be the cheapest option in town and you still cannot make money, there is no path forward. The question is not if it will be sold for demolition. The question is just who will sign the check. And that brings us to number 1, the absolute number 1 extinction candidate. This is not just a prediction, it is the perfect storm where every deadly factor of the formula has come together at once. A prime location, a disastrous operation, and an owner ready to sell. The carnival is over. Circus is the weakest link on the entire Strip. It is suffering the heaviest revenue drop in the budget category. Its gaming floors are reportedly 60 to 70% empty on any given night. This is a direct result of its budget-conscious audience being completely devoured by its shiny new neighbors, Resorts World and Fontainebleau. This is not a gradual decline. It is a collapse. In response, billionaire owner Phil Ruffin has confirmed that aggressive cost-cutting is underway. This is corporate speak for massive layoffs to stop the financial bleeding. It is an island of decay in a sea of luxury. But for Ruffin, the failing casino was never the point. He has openly admitted the purchase was a land play from the very beginning. He knows the real value is not the circus tent, but the colossal 102 acres it sits on, a plot worth over $1.5 billion. Circus Circus is a ghost town with a big top. It is hemorrhaging customers and staff, but its location makes it the most valuable redevelopment opportunity in the city. The bulldozers are not just a possibility. Phil Ruffin has already done the math. Its fate is grimly certain. From Casino Royale to Circus, the formula repeats. Themed, imaginative Las Vegas is being auctioned off, piece by piece. This is not just about closing casinos. It is a fundamental change to the city's DNA. The era of fantasy is over. The era of corporate real estate has begun, and this is just the beginning. To make sure you do not miss the next chapter in this corporate takeover of Las Vegas, subscribe to the channel. We will keep you ahead of the headlines. As the dust settles, you realize the soul of Las Vegas was never for sale. It was just another asset on a balance sheet, and the debt has come due. The formula is clear. Now that you know the signs, tell us in the comments. Which property do you believe is next on the list?